Hello and welcome back to Holistic Health Tips. This week I'm actually blogging about transitioning to fall. I know I've been talking about detoxing, but this seemed more prudent and important right now because not only because I'm struggling with an illness, but also because everybody sort of seems to be struggling with getting sick or trying not to get sick this time of year. It's very, very common for people to fall ill during the early seasons of fall, simply because we're transitioning from different temperatures. We're transitioning from, warmer, long days, hot temperatures, drier temperatures to colder, wetter temperatures. And a lot of people just struggle with that transition just temperature-wise, but not only temperature-wise, but because September tends to be a very busy month for a lot of people, especially people who have families. I mean, I know for myself, I have kids, they're both back at school. One is in grade 11, struggling with, knowing how important his marks are this year if he wants to get into a certain program in university. And, and he has, competitive gymnastics, and he has a lot on his plate. He coaches, and he's the one who came home with this illness to begin with. And then because of the fact was, I was also stressed. I found that I was stressing and worrying about finances, which, comes and goes. We all worry about finances, but I let myself get carried away worrying about it. And, I'm no different than anybody else, but I'm well aware consciously from doing all my own work that, you cannot stress and worry about something that you can't absolutely change in the moment. And I had gotten myself out of the moment. I had allowed myself to wallow in worrying and stressing about something that I can't change right now. So because I had been stressed about that, as well as I had, an unhappy falling out with a friend, and that caused me stress and worry. So the fact that I was upset and I was worried, and I'm still upset and worried about it all, and that was what triggered me to be susceptible to picking up whatever was rolling around out there, and that my son had joyfully brought home with him from school. So what I want to talk about, aside from reading my blog about ways to boost your immune system and keep you from falling ill, or remedies and things that you can use to help you to get better faster. And I'll explain why. Because when this hit me, I was aware that I'd been stressed. I was aware that I was, in a place I shouldn't have been. And I kind of accepted the fact that, I kind of understand why I fell ill. But for me, just falling ill isn't just falling ill. There is always deeper, bigger meanings behind everything that affects us in life. What goes on at the physical, as you're well aware from listening to me by now, also goes on at the mental, emotional realm. So I did some investigating the other night because this sort of came on about 2-3 days ago. I started all my immune boosting stuff. It seemed to still come on, and I couldn't seem to get ahead of it. I was taking every homeopathic remedy I could think of, along with all my supplements and, tricks of the trade to boost my immune system. Now, having said that, I want to be very clear that, once you've allowed yourself to get sick, you have to allow yourself to get better. There is a time frame. Most illnesses will last a minimum of 7 days. So you have to be aware that once you've gotten yourself sick, you're going to have to let yourself recover. But you can recover faster and more efficiently and not allow it to get any deeper using proper support. So that's what the blog is about this week. And also explaining that what I've discovered is my own state of mind that I was in was very much triggering me to pick up 2 very specific bacteria. Now, one is pertussis and one is diphtheria. Yes, we're all vaccinated for them. Doesn't mean they still don't exist. And it doesn't mean you cannot be susceptible to them and still pick them up. Vaccines are not true immunity. Sorry, hate to break it to you. It's just a false paradigm that we all buy into that just loads us up with more toxins and actually creates a hyperimmune system. It does not create natural immunity. So the only way to develop natural immunity, sadly, is to get ill. And that's what life is all about. You're a human organism. You need to acquire your own immunity by dint of your own natural efforts. So I realized that the pertussis state and the diphtheria state of mind, not just the physical symptoms of it, but why would I resonate with those two states? I'll explain why. And you can get a little bit of a deeper understanding into, who I am and how I came to be a practitioner. I grew up in a very conflicted household, and I know lots of us do. So pay attention if you have. Diphtheria is a state of mind where the individual feels the need to toughen up. We've all been told that whole adage of, well, just suck it up, deal with it, you'll be fine. We've all been there. We've all heard that. At least I know I've heard it a bazillion times. And I have to admit that sometimes I've said that to my kids when they just don't seem to want to stop whining about something, that they should be well aware of, that they are the ones in control of. When they get to that state, sometimes as a parent, you just had enough. It's like, okay, enough. Like, suck it up. Shit just happens sometimes. But shit doesn't just happen sometimes. There's always a deeper meaning behind it. And that's what I want to teach people about, is that, so for me, the diphtheria state of mind came about from being very sensitive as a child, but growing up in a very volatile, abrupt, worn, exhausting household where, you have one parent who's an alcoholic, and one minute they could be loving and supportive and helpful, and the next minute they're exploding with rage, to another parent who is so overwhelmed and overworked and unhappy and discontent, so that they are dumping and discharging their emotional state on you all the time. So I grew up in a constant state of stress and worry and fretting, and being a super sensitive little girl, I found that I had to learn to toughen up, and that's what I did. As you can see, it's a strong state of mind that I need to work through, or I wouldn't emotionally react to even thinking about it. So today, I tweeted earlier today that it's all about being real, and this is me being real. I don't want to be that tough, hard, I can handle it all person anymore. I want to be truly me. I want to love and be open and be as joyful and expansive as we're all meant to be. And if you are like me and you've been brought up under an incredible amount of trauma and turmoil, you're carrying around a state of mind that isn't who you truly are. It was impinged upon me by incredibly diseased parents, and I'm not laying blame. They were doing the best that they could. They were unaware that they could have changed their state, and I get that, and I understand that, and I wish them all the best, and I hope that they can work through and resolve their own issues so that they can be the true wonderful, amazing being that they can be. But I have to worry about me, and you have to worry about you, and you have to work on any and all unresolved emotional, mental traumas that you have picked up just by being raised by homo normalis, as we call it in orgonomy, is that, what is normal? Normal is what normal is in some regard, but it's not health. Normal is not health. Normal is not true health, because normal society is diseased. We have diseased states of mind that affect and impinge every single one of us in some way. And every individual takes it on in their own way. And so a super sensitive little girl who got told to suck it up enough times learned to just build a wall of hardness. And I don't want that wall anymore. I want to let it go so I can authentically live in love and joy. And the only way to do that is to recognize it. So for me to fall ill was an incredible opportunity for me to do some research and recognize that, oh my God, the diphtheria state of mind comes about from all that I've explained. And when you have that state of mind, you resonate with the disease. And when the disease comes around, which it is gonna at some point, and you're ready and willing to pick it up so that you can learn the life lesson, learn the life lesson. So when I figured out that it was diphtheria last night, I took the appropriate remedy. Instead of just pathically prescribing I actually went and took the tonic remedy. There is a significant difference between pathic and tonic remedies. And I'm going to do a little soft sell here, because if you want to learn the difference, take my course. Go to my website, sign up for my course. It's cheap. You're going to gain so much incredible knowledge from that course that you would pay thousands of dollars for, and it's $195. You get a massive little workbook that gives you all these specific tonic remedies. It teaches you how remedies are made, what the law and principles are that it resonates with, and so on. So that's my soft sell. But when I took the appropriate tonic remedy, instead of just chasing all the pathic symptoms around, like even classical homeopaths do, and I do sometimes too, just to help palliate symptoms. But the tonic is like the parent. It's the parent disease. It's the parent of all the other expressions. So when you take the tonic or the parent disease remedy, I instantly shifted. I felt better. Like the hardness of the cough and the stuckness in my head, even though I'm still sick today, yes, I feel better. I feel better in so many ways. It's not as stuck. It's moving. It's releasing. It's coming out physically and mentally, emotionally. I'm letting that state go. And I'm going to continue with the tonic remedy in an ascending dose, higher and higher, until I fully release the mental, emotional state that goes with it, because I don't want to go there anymore. I don't want to be in this state anymore. I don't need this state anymore. I'm ready to let it go. So if you're ready to go deeper and understand, what illnesses are triggering for you and what your state of mind is behind them, give me a call. That's what my job is. My job is to understand all these things, because that's my passion, is to know, why do we fall ill? Why am I ill? What is this telling me? What can I do to open up and resolve deep old unconscious traumas so that I can be free? That's what this blog is about. I know that this is the vlog, but the blog itself is simply giving you some great immune boosting tips and remedies that you can try if you feel you have these similar symptoms. So go read my blog, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And authentically, this is me. And I hope that if there's something I can do to help you find your authenticity and release your traumas that may be blocking you from that, give me a call. Go to holistichealthcare.ca. Check it out. This is Andrea Coulter in True Resonant Health from another Holistic Health Tip. See you next week.